Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Allyson Felix is returning to track and field at the age of 40, Tony. What are you doing at 40?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. Let's see. World War II had just ended.
Yeah, luckily for you.
Yeah.
It had not. No. Allyson Felix is a businesswoman now, a successful businesswoman with her own, among others, and she's going back into this. Kind of cool, isn't it?
There's an itch to scratch.
I guess so.
And you want to find out, can I do it?
Yeah.
Can I do it? Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the NFL draft is in the books. The Red Sox dump Alex Cora, and Nikola Jokic got steamed at Jaden McDaniels. But we begin today with yesterday's NBA playoffs. Toronto evened its series with Cleveland at 2-2, winning in Toronto. San Antonio, with Victor Wembanyama, was down by 17 at the half against Portland, came back, outscored Portland by 38 points in the second half. Boston easily won in Philadelphia by 32, despite the return of Joel Embiid from an appendectomy. And Houston stayed alive in their series, avoiding a sweep by beating the Lakers 115-96. Wilbon, which team had the biggest win yesterday?
Well, Tony, it's not Boston, because you knew that once they got over their awful shooting of threes in a game, which they do every series.
That's how they lose.
Every year.
That's how they win.
Drop one.
That's right.
But okay, so it's not them. And it's not Houston and the Lakers. I know Houston stayed alive. The Lakers will go back home and close this out. Houston is close to an embarrassment. So I don't want to get too derailed by that. San Antonio and Toronto are the answers to your question.
Well, you got to pick one.
I got to pick one?
It said which one.
I got to pick one?
Got to pick one.
All right, I'll pick Toronto.
Okay.
Because San Antonio, you knew that comeback, by the way, they're down 19. And in the blink of an eye, actually it took like 7 minutes, they are up 20. And you're like, oh, my God, I know Wemby's in there. But you don't expect when Portland gets up like that at home to just collapse, and they collapse.
It's something like, historically, the first time ever that you're down like 15 or more and you win by 15. Yeah, it's something.
It's insane.
Some big deal.
Okay, so, but it's Toronto, Tony, because Cleveland, you have liked Cleveland. A lot of people like Cleveland. But James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, legit dudes. They are turning it over at a rate you cannot believe. They are missing shots at a rate you can, you can't believe, because Harden does this every April, May.
That's right.
It's like you. I'm sort of rooting for Harden to get through it this time because he's older and he's played well and he tries to play every game as opposed to other people. But, Tone, it's not working, and Toronto could win that series.
Do you want me to go to Harden right away?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go right away. Because I did believe, as I said on this show, when they traded for Harden, I thought they would win the East.
I thought that was good.
I did.
Yeah.
And I didn't think, and I don't think Toronto should be an enormous hurdle for Cleveland. I don't believe that. In the last two losses, James Harden, 15 turnovers, and is shooting 11 for 27. And it is inescapable to get to the fact that this is the playoffs and this is what he does.
Yeah.
I thought Toronto, therefore, had the most significant win. I differ from you. I think that the biggest win is Houston, because if they lose...
Houston?
Well, if they lose the series.
But they look like dogs.
I understand, but they won without Kevin Durant. But I'm not going to get carried away. And the reason I'm not going to get carried away and to say, they can come back and win this series is because in the history of the NBA, no team has ever gone down 0-3 and come back and won. In fact, the 0-3 turns into... drum roll, please. 0-159.
Yeah.
0-159.
And the Lakers have reinforcements coming if that thing drags on. It looks like Doncic and Reeves will be back.
I'm going to be brief about this because I know you love the NBA playoffs. Yesterday's games, one close game, Toronto. The others, plus 19, plus 21, plus 32. Saturday's games, one game within 10, 8 points, plus 12, plus 16, plus 16.
It's like the NCAA tournament.
Yes. Now, aside from the Knicks and the Hawks, who seem to be playing close games, the rest of the games, you can hit the channel. You can hit the channel.
Well, but you don't want to hit the channel when San Antonio, for some reason I didn't. And they're down 19. And let me just watch this for a minute. And 8 minutes later, they are up double. It's insane. Insane comeback.
Let's move to the NFL draft from last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Pittsburgh. As expected, Fernando Mendoza went overall number 1 to the Raiders. Ohio State saw 4 of its players drafted in the first 11 picks, 7 of its players in the first 2 rounds, 11 overall. Wilbon, I know that you watched every second of the draft because your Bears are becoming contenders.
Yeah.
You were upset with various points because you called me.
Yeah.
So what are your biggest takeaways from the NFL draft?
Tony, I had some takeaways that had nothing to do with the Bears. And it had nothing to do with most teams. But the visual to me was that Navy running back, Eli Heidenreich, being drafted by the Steelers in the 7th round in Pittsburgh, and he comes up there in his uniform.
Oh.
And it was just, it was rousing to me. And this kid had tears. Everybody had tears. His seemed more important to me. That's a judgment call. And you know it. We live close enough to the Naval Academy. We've known athletes in every sport who went to Navy, and they had to serve their country. And they give that time back. Nobody was going pro anything except like McCallum and David Robinson.
Well, unless you grow to be 6'11" overnight,
right.
and
then
they say
get off the
go.
sub.
That's right.
But we knew those people when they were matriculating, and it's it's incredible. But also, Tony, for real, Jeremiah loved going to Arizona, which I thought was the right move. Some would disagree with a whole lot of pundits.
A lot of people disagree with you because of the money they have.
And Ty Simpson being selected by the Rams, being selected by Les Snead, and maybe Sean McVay and Stafford not as on board.
My understanding was that they called Stafford.
They did.
They asked how he felt about this. That this was not like Kirk Cousins sitting in Atlanta and then drafting Michael Penix
on Sports Center.
No, it's not like that. So if I'm honest here, I'm going to tell you that this draft seems like it took place a year ago.
Why?
This is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. By Saturday, they're just reciting a bunch of names. It's like taking attendance in an elementary school. If you're not Mel Kiper, you don't know who these people are.
63% of the people on the opening day roster in the NFL are from rounds 4 through 7, which is the third day.
In the interim, you have NBA playoffs, you have NHL playoffs, you have a golf major for the LPGA. You have a manager getting fired.
I watched it.
I know, and we have a role reversal here.
Yeah, we do.
Because you're watching this completely, and I walked away from it. Because to me, when I watch the Grammys and they bring somebody out and I don't recognize the song and I don't recognize the artist and I realize I'm too old for this world, it's not my world, that's how the draft sometimes seems to me. The other part of the draft that I think is important to say is that it's not science.
No.
They get it wrong a lot.
Yes.
You can tell right away with a running back and right away with a receiver most of the time. Other positions are nuanced. 9 offensive linemen were chosen in the first round. I don't know who they are. They're anonymous. They could anchor a line for 10 to 12 years,
not
but you don't know.
If,
you don't know.
Like me, you wake up at 3:30 in the morning and you do. So instead of walking the dog, because I don't have a dog, I study scouting reports. You can know them. They are knowable.
Can I tell you the biggest disappointment?
I can identify.
My biggest disappointment of the draft, because I really liked the first 2 rounds. I watched those.
What?
Because it was in Pittsburgh, and Aaron Rodgers didn't show up.
Good.
I wanted him to rappel down from that big stage wearing a WWE belt. And he didn't do it. That was my disappointment.
Wait, this is supposed to be a WWE free zone, this show. This show. Let's
wait till you find out who Thursday's guest is.
Let's move to the Red Sox. Is he already spoiled? Canning manager Alex Cora.
Oh, nobody knew?
5 other coaches on his staff Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Just hours after a 17 win over the O's. Yeah. The Red Sox were off to a 10-17 start, but the decision by head of baseball ops Craig Breslov did not sit well with some players. Shortstop Trevor Story said Breslov's explanation wasn't satisfactory and added, quote, some of the best coaches in the world didn't get a fair shot, close quote. Tony, too soon in the season for the Sox to dump Cora and his boys.
Well, it's April. There's 135 games left. And they didn't just fire Cora. They fired 5 coaches. One of them, I believe, is beloved Red Sox catcher Jason Varitek, I believe. He was part of that. This was a coup d'etat. The GM, with the obvious backing of the owner, got rid of all of these people. Now, why do you do it? You're 10-17 at that point. You have 18 home runs. That's the worst in the majors. You have 112 scored runs. That's 22nd in the majors. They're 28th in slugging percentage. Their starting pitchers are 27th with a 5.08 ERA. Is that Cora's team or is that the GM's team? You got to tell me whose team that is.
Here's what you missed. This one stat you didn't give.
What?
How far are they behind the Yankees?
Probably
like 7+.
Probably a big distance.
So, and if
the Yankees had a winning streak till
Breslow, not Breslow, as I said, Breslow. That's what baseball is now. That's why as much as I love watching baseball, and I won't get into it until the NBA playoffs.
I watch now.
For real.
I watch.
as much as I love it from the middle of June through October, the beginning of November, I hate what executives have done to baseball. I hate the way they impose their will from an office who don't even know their way around the dugout.
Do you know?
I find these people loathsome. And Alex Cora,
your favorite word lately.
huh?
Your favorite
Alex
word
Cora, do I trust him or Breslow?
Here, I believe I'm right on this, that Boston hadn't fired a manager mid-season since 2001 with Jimmy Williams. I think I'm right on that. Somebody will get in my ear if I'm wrong. Alex Cora won a World Series, but Terry Francona won 2, and they fired him. Look.
They'll fire everybody. I'm talking about the reasons for firings now.
Here is the first thing I thought of when I heard this news. The Mets guy isn't fired, and Alex Cora is fired. The Phillies guy, Rob Thompson, right, who's done a very good job, who came in the middle of a season and turned things around for Philadelphia. They are now 9-19, the same as the Mets. Philadelphia has lost 11 out of 12, and the Mets have lost 15 out of 17.
That's a lot of bad baseball along I-95.
And it's April. Well, the Yankees don't have bad baseball. And it's April. All right? It just seems, because it's not hockey. Hockey fires you in the second week and the 52nd week. So
you're saying it's too soon?
It felt too soon for me. Did for me. How about you?
Again.
Although the manager they picked has worked in their minor league system and knows these players.
You can't be surprised. When somebody gets fired in New York, Philly, or Boston at any point, you cannot be surprised that even if it's overreaction, you can't be surprised.
How long has a Yankee manager been there? He's been there a long time.
Booney?
Yeah, he's been there a long time. Not everybody gets canned. Let's take a break. Coming up, how confident should we be that the Pistons even up their series with the Magic tonight?
And was Nikola Jokic right to take exception to Jaden McDaniels' last second bucket?
Breslow pitched in the majors, you know.
Okay, well, most of these guys played baseball at some point.
Once
they become front office guys, that trumps whatever they did when they were 26.
But you love Theo, and he's a front office guy. You love him.
Yeah, he won.
Time to find out what's rankling the rank and file in mail time. I'll put on my glasses to read, and I'll get the first one. You ready? Are you confident that the Pistons will even their series against the Magic tonight?
No. I think the Pistons would. If I was playing my confidence pool like I do in the NFL season.
How high would you go?
I'd only go a 3 or 2.
That's all?
Yeah, in terms of my confidence level. That's not like betting. But, Tony, the reason why is because Orlando's playing like Orlando always should have played this season. And when you got a starting lineup with Wagner, Banchero, Suggs, Carter, and Bain, Wagner, Banchero, and Bain can put up damn near 100 points, just the 3 of them. They can. Mm-hmm. And so if you look at their lineup, I know Cade Cunningham is the best player in that series, but he's being pressed and stressed into turnovers. Detroit needs another offensive player. They can't get one right now during the playoffs. I think Detroit will win tonight, but that series is going 7.
Am I confident that Detroit will win tonight? Much like you, no, I am not confident. But much like you, I think that they should win.
Yeah.
They won 15 more games in the regular season than Orlando.
Because Orlando was a dog.
Okay, so let me get to this, because you're fond of saying that people expected Orlando to be good.
Yep.
And you're fond of saying specifically that Banchero and Wagner, they expected that they would be good. But Detroit won 60 games. They were good. They actually were good.
Now it's come closer to maxing out.
Can you win on the road? Well, in the playoffs, sure you can win on the road. Minnesota's won on the road. The Knicks have won on the road. The Hawks have won on the road. Portland won in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Philadelphia won in Boston. Let's not make Orlando into a dynasty because they want to play in
That's
game.
why I think Detroit will win.
Should win
I think
this
Detroit
game.
will win, but I'm far than certain that they
your confidence level is very low.
It is.
But that's
because Orlando's lineup, if you ask me whose lineup I want, neutral court, I don't care where the game's played, I'm going to take Orlando's lineup. They're finally playing like they're supposed to.
You don't get credit for doing what you're supposed to do. Our one famous fan.
Was Nikola Jokic right to take issue with Jaden McDaniels' late layup?
I'm not going to say he is right, but I am certainly not going to say he is wrong. That layup broke the code. You can't do that. You're up. Let me get the number. You're up by 14. There's 2 seconds left. You dribble it out.
Yes, you do.
You do not score at that point.
He didn't dunk it. He didn't win me.
It doesn't matter. You don't do that. You dribble it out. Now, I understand that Denver is probably frustrated with what Minnesota is doing to them defensively. Denver had the #1 offense in the league in the regular season. I understand Jokic is probably frustrated with what Rudy Gobert, among others, are doing to him defensively, because Jokic at the moment is shooting 39% in this series and 5 of 27 from 3. And the last
what he is in the fourth quarter, Jokic?
Probably bad.
Last 3 games?
Probably
2 for 16.
Okay. The last thing he wants to see is a kid laying it up off the glass
Agreed.
at that point.
Agreed.
So while I won't say that he was right, I certainly won't say he was wrong.
What would everybody that you covered, particularly the guys you like and admire and have known for 100 years?
They'd have hit him. No, they'd have hit him.
They would have.
They would have hit him.
There would have been a fight.
Yes,
you know.
100%. Decked him.
Until like 2003.
Yeah.
It would have been a fight.
Yeah.
Okay. So I get what Joker did. I kind of respected it. But I respect Minnesota for basically saying, we're rivals now. We don't like you. We know you don't like us. So we're not going to worry about whose feelings are hurt. By the way, speaking of hurt, I feel bad for Minnesota losing their starting back.
This is what happened to the Lakers.
But the
Lakers are up 3-1 in their series, and this is what happened to them.
Yeah.
Are you saying you think Minnesota can't win?
It's a tough. I know they got 3 shots at it. But, Tony, you're missing Ant-Man and DiVincenzo. You're missing your best player.
Can I remind... Oh, and Doncic isn't the best player? Can I remind you the Lakers went up 3-0?
I know. You think it's automatic that Minnesota's going to win?
I don't think... The Minnesota, you mean Denver. You mean, I think it's automatic that Denver's going to win.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's automatic.
All right.
But that's a tough
That's
blow.
a compelling series.
That's
a tough blow.
It was always the best first-round playoff series in any sport.
Right. Absolutely.
That's enough email. Let's take one last break. Still to come. Was the goal that beat the Oilers last night clear enough to count?
And a setback for Texas Tech and its new top transfer quarterback. They're just going to get another one. Ayo DeSummo. Nice job, Bulls. Nice job, Arturas Karnisovas, for trading him for a ham sandwich.
He's gone.
He had 43.
He's gone.
He had 43.
He's gone. They fired him.
Traded.